Appreciate y'all being here. By the way, I'm Cam, also known as Jesus Calderon, your host. This is goldenSpiral. So, what's up, y'all? How did you guys enjoy? Was good? Tell me your experience.
How you doing, man?
How was it?
It was great. It was my first live streaming experience like that.
Word.
Very, very legit. And you guys are just the best.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you took care of it perfectly.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, that's what we
Legit
do.
operation.
Yeah, we do this in our undisclosed location, so glad you guys could be here and kick with us.
Subterranean, dumb, deep underground.
Yes, the hollow earth.
Yeah,
That's where we are.
yeah, we're deep inside the earth right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to start off with some questions from people because it looks like they got a lot for you. The first one is from Bethel Waves 11. They say, question for Mr. goldenSpiral. How did you guys come to incorporate the Eastern scales? Did you all travel east?
No, so honestly, I was raised playing the violin, and I studied classical music in Western theory for about 10 years. And when I stopped playing the violin and I just started focusing on music production entirely, I sort of lost my grip on theory in a way that was kind of liberating. It was very liberating, actually, because I was always able to play by ear in terms of, like, I would always know what note I was hearing when I heard it, but I sort of, once I kind of lost that, I would still know, like, what notes are right and what notes are wrong. So all these new scales just started coming out of me, and you know, I was raised around multicultural music. My father was born in Argentina and brought all kinds of Spanish style music into the house, and you know, all kinds of Latin, like tango, and all kinds of music from all over the place, Eastern. But it was a mixture of just like what was just coming out of me naturally, and you know.
Word. Yeah, so, I mean, I was trained as a jazz musician, so for me, weird, interesting scales are like what it's all about. That's like my favorite stuff to play around with. And I'm a little bit of a music theory nerd, so I'm like, oh, cool, you know, we can use like the flat 2 and the sharp 4 and the, like, you know, half diminished thing here. I love that stuff. I eat that stuff up. So for me, it's like, if I could choose anything to play, that's what I'll be playing. Something that's interesting, that like, grabs your ear. That's what I'm into.
A follow-up question from Bethel Waves was, are you guys more preferential to chunky or smooth peanut butter?
I like smooth peanut butter. Yeah.
Only chunky all the time, all day. Chunky forever.
I like it smooth.
Word. All right, cool.
I mean, I'll get down with some chunky, but you know.
I can't do smooth. It sticks to the roof of your mouth too much. It's too sticky. You need the chunks in there.
I like that. Keeps me occupied.
See, there you go. But see, you are a chunky man. You're a smooth man.
Yeah.
Opposites attract. Y'all made magic just now.
Pow.
Yeah.
There it is. It makes
See?
sense.
It's all about balance.
So for our next question is from Siren Fatale 1111. If you could choose 3 words as themes or vibes from 3 different stages, 1 word for each stage of your life, music, career, what would they be? Was that too long? Do I need to repeat myself? Because I even felt like I just didn't read that properly.
Repeating yourself will buy me some time on that.
Perfect. One more time. So 3 words that describe your themes or vibes from 3 different stages of your life, from your life, music, or career, or anything like that.
I got this. Stage 1, school. Being in music school. Stage 2, DJing. Being a DJ. I did it for like 8 years. It was lots of fun. Stage 3, band. Being in awesome bands like goldenSpiral, World Town Sound System. I'd say that those are the 3 phases my music careers moved through. Schooling, then DJing, and then playing in bands.
So
I don't
think
know if that's what you meant, but that's how I interpreted it. There you go.
the first
Not bad.
the first stage of my musical development, I would say it was listening. That would be my first word, is listening, because you know, when you're young and you're just discovering music, you gotta take it all in. You gotta absorb what has already been done and come to understand it, so that you can put your own spin on it and do your own doing your own thing, you gotta understand the roots, the fundamentals before you can do anything, right? So, the mid section of my musical development, I would say the word I would use is bang, because I was just making hip hop beats that just were like totally redlining and just banging, blowing up speakers that were just like, you know, any day of the week. But then I sort of matured, and I would say the third stage of my musical development, the one I'm in, the word I would use is vibes, because that's what it's all about. And you gotta learn how to just vibe it out and just feel what the music is dictating, and just be there to heed the call and not be trying to control everything and you know cranking shit up all the time. And you know it's all about balance, vibes. Yeah,
I feel that. Like I think what's interesting about the music that you guys play is that I feel like I could hear your music anytime. Like for instance, I could sit down, chill with my miss, you know, trying to speak some game to her real quick because I didn't do the dishes. She's mad at me. Like, yo, let me holler at you real quick. Let me play a soundtrack. Or I can even play a soundtrack playing like boss level Mortal Kombat. Like, how do y'all make music that can just kind of jump between all those hoops? You know what I mean?
Well, I guess I'm able to do that just by not restricting myself in any way, and not trying to fit what I'm doing into some kind of mold, and being concerned about you know, if the market I'm targeting is consistent throughout every song. And you know, I think you just gotta not concern yourself too much, and when you do that, all kinds of wonderful things will come out of you, and you just gotta be open to it. You gotta be open to what the universe is sort of telling you. You know?
Like providing light on you, for example.
Yo, let me give my man Adrian some props here. Adrian is a very deep and interesting person. He's a very thoughtful, introspective person, a lot of very mature views, and he's very diverse. And I think that complexity and diversity is reflected in his music, that his music kind of goes all over the place, that it could be, like you said, like a banger, or it could be, you know, some kind of like smooth, sexy shit, and it goes everywhere in between. I think that is a credit to his just diversity as an individual, and that he lets himself go all those places.
So, all right, 2 more questions for you. We got to go real quick, but the first one is, I don't know if you can do this quickly, but from Kira Abandon, how did you two meet?
On Tinder.
Word. I support that. They're a sponsor. I'm joking. They're definitely not.
Actually, so we met just through all kinds of mutual friends in the scene. I'm really good friends with World Town Sound System, which he's a part of. Shout out World Town, what up? And you know, Agent Zero in the house too. Like, well, we all go back, and we've just been doing our thing in Philly for a long time, and I think
we're old friends. Me and Adrian are real old friends. We've been friends for a minute now.
Yeah, and he came to the album listening party that I had at the Boom Room, and that was and I had this. I spent like a year and a half working on my full length album Wave Formation, which came out in like 2016, and he came through and listened to the whole thing, and everyone, all the people who I invited were real. You know, gave me some really great feedback, and it was at that point we were just like, let's get in, because Dan really understands music really, really well and technically, and it just comes so naturally to him, and he's really one of the only people who can hold it down with what we're doing here. Yeah, it's perfect.
I actually have that album. I appreciate it, and I accidentally almost had my first child to that album. That's a story for another time. Anyways, before we head out of here real quick, what do you want to provide the people watching with, like any kind of knowledge or like how to make it through this time and COVID and all that whatnot? COVID, not COVID.
I would just say to just, you know, don't allow the news to get you too worried and too scared. I think we're gonna be okay, and things are gonna work out because the human experience that we're in is a very resilient one, and you know, we've made it through far worse than this, and you know, even if we're gonna make it through, and just don't allow fear to dictate your life and you know, your day to day.
What's up, everybody? All right, this is probably the last thing I get to say to you. You right there. I know you see me. Look at me. Come on in. Look at my eyes. Look. You got this magical time right now, okay? I know it's weird and it's crazy and you're scared. But look, you got all this time that you were given off when you don't have to work. And you could stay at home and play video games. You could feel depressed and feel weird. Or you could be like, no, you know what? I've been given this as a gift from the universe or God or whatever you believe in. I can use this time productively. If you're a musician, okay, you shouldn't even be, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. You shouldn't even be watching this right now. You should be working on your music. You should be practicing your instrument. And
Watch
when
us.
you're, but watch this. But when you're done, go away from your computer or your phone. Go pick up your instrument and pick it up and just play. Use this time. Work on your art. Invest in yourself. I thought you were gonna ask me what's the best advice you can give to any musician. If you're a musician, what you gotta do is practice your instrument every single day and practice it and love it and pour yourself into it and just don't stop. And if you do, you're gonna achieve this level of excellence that you never knew that you could achieve. And you have all this gift of all this time right now. You could be practicing every day, practicing all the time and getting super, super sick. That is what I wanna give to you. Go out, do that thing, grab that thing, make your dream come true, use this time, build yourself up to the next level. That's what I got for you, that's it.
Thank you, guys.
And spread love.
Yes.
And spread love.
Spread love. Spread love. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And hey, look, if worse comes to worse and it doesn't work out, then sit down and comfort yourself in the fact that Carol Baskins did it. All right. So, till the next Wayne. Hope you guys enjoy us for now. And thank you guys for stopping by. Hope to see you again.
Yo, thanks for having us, my man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, brother.
We just touched hands. No, it didn't.